And one fish, two fish. Yeah, I'm not hearing myself. And one fish, two. I do see the output. Where's the, let me just check. Headphones. Where's the other headphones? Speakers, high definition audio. Oh, there it is. Suddenly my suddenly my audio was flipped in the list. All right, anyhow. And one fish, two fish. And red fish, blue fish. I think I'm not hearing any echoes because I don't have anything turned on, do I? Oh, I am. Okay. I hear myself on Twitch. Why do I not? I got the. Oh, is my output? Where's my output? Audio output capture. There it is. I see. That's the input mic. Where the frick did my output go? Is it actually. Can I hear myself through? I can't. Actually, that is going through Twitch. Okay, never mind. Probably. Okay. Sorry about that other viewer. Let's just check YouTube and see if I can hear anything over there. Hey, Willie. My desktop audio wasn't echoing, so it's freaking me out. So, I think we're good. I don't know. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? We'll just double check and see if anybody says anything. There we go. I heard that. We hear you. Okay, excellent. All right, that's fine then. I don't know. My audio is being funny because, of course, Windows updated last night. That's what that's why it's all gone to poop. Um, anyhow, we're still working on this dress here, the the Parian dress. That's it. Um, I got the morphs done in here. Control Shift F. We'll reset that back to that. I think we're ready to break this apart into four parts: top, belt, a short skirt, and a long skirt. So we're going to do that. Then we're going to work on making the belt texture look better today. And then we'll take a look at where we were, if there's any time left to start loading up the rest of the textures on here that we were working in Substance. That's the plans for today. So let's start with we're going to start saving this. We're going to start renaming parts here. This is going to become top. So we go through this for all the different little parts. And then we come over here. We're going to go to Edit Scene Identifier. And we're going to change that to say top. And that says top. And this all is probably good. Actually, right here, we're going to change this to say shirt. And then we're going to accept that. Then we're going to save it. And where are we? We're in the Night Veil outfit. I finally got that submitted to Daz today. But we're not working on that now. So then I can move on to this Greek Parian people. Genesis 8 clothing me Parian outfit. And right here, we'll save this as top. And then this comes up, and we're going to say right there where it says product, we're going to make sure that says Parian outfit. Teparian top G8 female shirt, and I think we're good to go. So we did this for the Genesis 9 version on Tuesday. And I just worked on this a little bit today to get the basic Morse in for the Genesis 8 version. So that's where we are. Okay, we're going to do one for the belt. 1, 2, 3, belt. Do that. Tweak the scene identifier. Change that to say belt. That says belt, and we're going to make this an accessory waist. And the rest of that should be good, so we'll accept that, and we'll save this. And we'll put that over here. I'll make that say belt. And this comes up, and we're going to have to change that to say pairing outfit. And that should say accessory waist G8F, belt G8F. Okay, that one is good. We're going to do a slight detour. I got to see what I named the skirts. I think it was skirt and skirt short or something like that, but I'm double checking because I've already forgotten. Skirt long, skirt short. That's what we're calling it. Skirt long and skirt short. Got it. Skirt long. Excellent. We'll go back to our Genesis 8 folder now. All right, scene identifier, edit scene identifier. You're going to be skirt long, and right here we'll change the content type to be skirt. So that's going to be under wardrobe. Skirt is good, and accept that. And then save this out to skirt long. And make sure the product name is good. Skirt long, wardrobe skirt. That all looks good. Okay, now we're going to come over here, make that say short. Scene identifier. Make you say short. It's still a skirt. The rest of that should be okay. Now we can say view right there. Say short. And this comes up. Make sure that says pairing outfit. Skirt. Skirt short. Skirt should be good. Except that. Okay, we'll get rid of this. Actually, I'm going to shut Daz down and we'll relaunch it just to make sure. Come on, Daz. He's so fast. One of these days I'll steal a better computer. I didn't say that live on stream, did I? Oh no. I hit the relaunch button too soon. I probably should have just Control Alt deleted Daz. That actually would be faster if I don't need to save any of the settings that we had changed, and I didn't make any changes to those. Anyhow, there's Daz. Anyhow, wait. All right, click. Oh, it's too fast. Okay, so now we're going to load them in, delete the parts that we don't need, and save them back out again. Then I'm probably going to shut Daz down again and relaunch it. Just to clear out memory so it doesn't have any pre-existing ghosts hanging around. There we go. All right, we'll start with the belt, just because it happens to be first in line. Go to the geometry editor, go to tool settings, and we'll actually select the belt. And what we're going to do is come in and delete out the parts that aren't belt. So we'll just select everything underneath here. Once we have that all selected, we can delete all those faces. With the geometry editing, delete selected polygons, say yes is good. I should be able to just save this now. We'll see what we got. We'll overwrite belt here. Already exists, yes. Once again, I have to tell it what the product is. But it still says belt G8 female, accessories waist, looks good. Delete that. Select this. That's the dress, that's the shoes. This is skirt long. Okay, so for starters on skirt long, we're going to delete the top and the belt. And then we're going to rename some of these surface settings down here. So select geometry editor, tool settings. All right, so we're going to get rid of the belt. We're going to get rid of the top. I'm just going to delete those. Which skirt do I have? It says long. Okay. Edit geometry, delete selected polygons, say yes. Is good. Now we're going to clean these up. I've got materials in here. Skirt low hem, and skirt low trim that we don't need anymore. So actually, skirt hem becomes part of skirt. So I'm just going to assign those to that. And then we'll just get, what I'm going to do is I'm going to rename. So we're going to delete this one right now. Rename that. And then this actually becomes skirt hem at the bottom. That's this way down here. All right, let's clear our selection. Okay, then I want this to be part of the skirt as well, and that is skirt low. So we can select that and assign that to skirt. And then we can get rid of skirt low. And then I've got this skirt low trim. So let's, once again, we'll just deselect everything. I'm going to select skirt low trim and assign that to skirt trim. Like that. Then we can get rid of this. Is good. Now I got to just clean this up a little bit. There's a little bit of polys right there that need to be part of the trim. So I'm going to clear my selection and I'm going to carefully select these. And there's some I can't see. So what we're going to do is we're going to do this in kind of baby steps. I'm going to assign these to the trim. Then I'm just going to expand my selection. And we're just going to hide this geometry visibility, hide selected or something like that. And now I can see this stuff in here. And let me just make sure all of that is deselected. And then I just want these ones right here. And those become part of the trim. There we go. Excellent. Let's just make everything clear selection and make everything visible again. Okay. And then I gotta kind of do the same thing over here. That goes into trim. All right, I'm going to expand that a little bit so I can hide it. And then we're going to select these and assign those to trim. Excellent. Deselect everything. Make everything visible. And we should be good. So that's ready to be saved. Dum, 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 dum. Hit the save button. Come over here. This is the skirt long. Okay, Chris Cox. That should say the name of the product. That says skirt long. That says wardrobe skirt. That is all good to go. Oakley dokley. Gonna get rid of that. Gonna select this, come over here, and we'll load into short. I still have to do the top too, don't I? Okay, this one I just need to delete these. That's gonna be, this is a little easier. These are all the ones that say low, skirt low, low hem, and low trim, and then we could just delete those off. Now I also have to get rid of the top and the belt. So we'll select the belt. Then we'll zip down here and grab the rest of the top. All right, now we're ready to delete. Geometry editing, delete selected polygon, say yes. Should just leave us with the short skirt. Yay. And this has the same surface names as the long skirt. So when I do my magic with material files, I can use it on either the long or the short skirt. Okay, that's good. All right, I'm just going to clear that select. I'm just going to make sure I don't have anything selected by accident. And then save that out. That goes over there, short skirt. Say yes. Me. Parian outfit, Parian skirt, short G8. Female should be good. Alrighty, delete that. Let's do the top. This is the last one of this group. So when I finish packaging this up, this one right here, the dress, that doesn't get included because that includes everything. We've now, well, we haven't quite. We still have to delete off the parts that aren't the top. So clickety click. You know what? I just go this way. Hit the little plus keys to select what I want. Geometry editing and delete. And yes, please. It's all good. Now we'll just save that out. There's a proper dress for Sarah. I think we're good. I think we're good. I think we just do this. Overwrite that. Hopefully I didn't screw anything up. I'm gonna close stuff down. We're gonna take a look at the data folder just to make sure that everything looks the way it's supposed to look. Is still too long? Is that still too long? Already exists. Do I want to replace it? Yes. Make sure that product name says what we want it to say. Parent top G8. Shirt looks good. So I'm going to do another shutdown and clean start. And if we, sometimes I will screw these up. So actually, while that's going on, let's go take a look at the data folder. So projects, Greek, over into the parent data, me, outfit. Okay, eventually we're going to get rid of those. So there's a skirt long, there's the other skirt long, there's the short, there's the other short. We got our two belts. So that looks good. I don't inadvertently have a folder in here called product. So I think that's good. Actually, it's so here's the belt. There's the morphs. There's me. There's the base. We can kind of clean up the belt. There's a lot of stuff in here that we don't need to keep. So it's like you don't need all these chest morphs for a belt. I'm gonna leave the breast morphs in here because I think sometimes the top will get deformed a little bit by the breast morphs, and that might translate into the belt. So I'm gonna leave those in here. But anyhow, where are we? Chest width, I don't need you. Front upper, I probably don't need you. Hip depth, hip width, we can keep that. Don't need that. Adjust rear, you know what? I really don't need that because I have an adjust back. We don't need the shoulder morphs. I do want the left and the right, so we don't need skirt depth, skirt width, side thigh depth, thigh width, tummy, upper back. I could probably, you know what, I think I'll leave both of those. Okay, because this originally was transferred from Genesis 9, we have a whole bunch of Genesis 9 garbage still in here, so we're going to just lose that down to here. Hola, it's Mr. Atherin. How you doing, buddy? Okay, the belt does not have ankles, buttocks. I don't think I need the midriff. I don't need that. I don't need these skirt morphs. I don't need the sleeve morphs. I might want to leave these in, so I think I'll leave those. Hanging out with the cat. Cool. All right, these are corrective body shapes for Genesis 9. We don't need those for Genesis 8. These are actually Genesis 8 morphs, so we're going to keep those. I'm going to keep that. We're going to flare. I don't need the flares. These are more Genesis 9 stuff. Yo, it's Rod Shelley. So get rid of those. No belts. I need to keep that. Get rid of these. I'm going to keep the breast morphs because the top might get deformed a little bit and it might actually impact the waist a bit. So if that's actually the case, these probably will help keep it on track. I know it sounds a little weird. Partial joint corrective morphs, those are Genesis 8 morphs. And these are all some more Genesis 9 shapes, so we're going to get rid of those. All right, one down. 7 more to go. How are you and Joe doing today, Rod? All right, we'll do the Genesis. One of the things I'm looking for is there's a folder here called product. I have to kill it. All right, so this is kind of the same drill, except we're going to just keep all the Genesis 9 ones because this is the Genesis 9 version. But our belt doesn't need chest morphs. Doesn't need a neck morph. I think we'll keep the rear. We don't need the shoulders. I'm going to lose the skirts. I think I'm going to leave the torso and torso left, right, and back. Those are going to keep. Doing okay. She may come home Sunday. Ooh. Well, happy day after Valentine's Day. All right. Keep the expand. Lose that. Mass body. Those we all keep. I think the rest of these I keep. No, no, here's a bunch of loosens. Don't need ankles, don't need buttocks, don't need a chest, don't need elbows. I'm going to lose the midriff in the neck and these skirts and that, and I'm going to keep those two waist morphs. Okay, that's good to go. All right, moving on to the skirts. Okay, adjust back. I think we keep that. Chest, we don't need the chest morphs. Adjust front upper, we don't need that. Tips we're going to keep. Adjust rear, we're going to keep. Shoulders, don't need those. Those I'm going to keep. Upper back, I don't need. Waist depth might be useful. Expand all. You know, it's a skirt. I don't need to keep an ankle adjustment. Buttocks, I'm going to keep that. Midriff. I think the midriff might be useful. Neck, I don't need these because it's a dress. We're going to keep these skirts. Sleeves short, we don't need. And I think the rest of this is good. Yo, DZ, how are you doing? Nice to see you. That's because DZ's a magician. check him, check him out over at Renderosity, um, and Daz. Cool, cool stuff. All right, I think the rest of this stuff I'm keeping. Oh no, what am I? Oh, which one am I in? I'm in the Genesis 8, which means I can lose the Genesis 9 stuff in here. So those can all go away. These I already cleaned up. These are all Genesis 9 morphs, so we're going to get rid of those. Those controls are Genesis 8 morphs, so they get to stay. I'm cleaning up figures. We're actually in the data folder getting rid of excess morphs. And because of the way I make figures where I take the Genesis 9 version and just auto fit it to Genesis 8, there's a bunch of extra Genesis 9 morphs in here. So we're deleting those out. Part A only covers nursing facility for 20 days, and we're a bit over that. Oh, 218 a day. Ouch. That's better than what it could be, but still, that's a bummer that you can't stay in there as long as you need to stay. But that's American healthcare, right? Because we hate ourselves. All right, all of those are Genesis 9 morphs. I'm gonna delete those. Those are Genesis 9 morphs. You know, the skirts don't need the breast morphs, so I'm gonna get rid of those. I probably don't need those, but I think I'm gonna leave them in for now. You thought it'd be more, but that's enough. Yeah, I would have thought it would have been higher than that, but still, I still wouldn't want to pay that much a day. That adds up fast. File an appeal. There you go. Yeah. Well, good luck with the appeal. But I know what you mean about not holding your breath. You don't want to not appeal and then find out you could have saved the money, right? Okay, we are on the skirt long Genesis 9. So just a quick, I'm going to pop over to Daz. No, wait, Daz is hiding. We'll reload it in Daz while I clean these up. All right, this is a skirt, so we don't need these chest morphs. I don't need that neck morph. I'm going to keep that rear morph. We don't need the shoulder morphs. We do want to keep these skirts. I think I'm going to keep the torso. It's Genesis 9, so we're going to keep all the Genesis 9 morphs. Did I go past my loosens? I only have a couple of loosens in here, so we're going to keep those. Why don't I have more? Who knows? Oh, there, because I have these. You know what? I don't need to loosen ankles. I don't need to loosen chest. I don't need to loosen an elbow. I might be able to loosen a midriff, but definitely don't need to loosen the neck and the sleeve short. I think the rest of this is good. All right, we're halfway through cleaning these up. We're on to these short skirts now. And here, I'll just give a quick, actually, I'm going to hit that button and then we'll clean up and we'll come back and load in the outfit as it looks right now. Okay, this is the skirt short Genesis 8 female. Take a look in here, take a look in there. I'm still not seeing any bad product folders in here, so that's good. That's one of the things we're checking for. All right, it's a skirt, so we don't need chest morphs. I don't need a neck morph. I don't need shoulder morphs. The rest of this I can probably... I might not need the upper back, so you know what? I'm just going to get rid of that. These are Genesis 9 morphs and a Genesis 8 figure, so we're going to get rid of those. I don't really want ankle morphs on a skirt, so we'll lose that. Keep these. Don't need a neck. Don't need a sleeve morph. Even though these are Genesis 9 morphs, they do actually do adjustments, so I keep those because they're useful. These are all Genesis 9 corrective body shapes. These are Genesis 9 character morphs. Those are Genesis 8 morphs, so they stay. Flare skirt morphs can stay. These are more Genesis 9s. We're going to go that until we get to no belt. Olivia and Olympia. These are breast morphs, which we don't need for the skirt. I'm not sure if I want to keep these or not, so if when in doubt, just leave them. Those are corrective joint morphs. They are Genesis 8 morphs, but I don't know. They're like for the thighs. I'm not sure how useful that is for the D-Force dress. But we'll get rid of them. All right, we're on the Genesis 9 short skirt. Same drill. No chest, no neck. No shoulders. Keep these. Keep those. This is the Genesis 9, so I'm just going to leave the auto-generated Genesis 9 morphs in here. Probably doesn't hurt. It could auto-generate those too, probably. But I don't know. I'm not sure if the auto-generate... I think the auto-generate will be fine. Anyhow, loosen short sleeves. I don't need that. All right, we are looking at... Did I go past breast shapes? We did. You know what? We don't need the breast shapes in the skirt. I'll get rid of those. And these are pectoral morphs, so we'll lose those as well. Corrective body morphs, I don't know what they do, so I'm not going to touch them. Flare skirt. I'd loosen ankles. I really don't want to loosen ankles on a skirt. Don't need the chest, the elbow. I think I might need the midriff. Don't need the neck. Don't need the sleeves. I think the rest of this is probably good. All right, we're down to the last two here. Here's the top. Although, you know what? We got this loaded up. We'll pop back and clean up the top in just a minute. Anyhow, here we go. And then when we're done with that, we'll work on the textures for the belts. Look, I have a belt. This is loosely based off of a Greek. Although, as I say, Greeks aren't actually two-piece outfits. They're two pieces of cloth, and it's double belted. I'm kind of faking double belting. And then you can have either the short skirt or the long skirt. I'll just put the short skirt on for now. And we got a pair of sandals that'll go with it. So this is kind of how the outfit's going. All right, let's finish cleaning up the in here. So far, so good. What am I on? I'm on the top, so I can keep it back. I do actually need the chest morphs. Uh, it does actually, it goes down to the hips, so we're going to kind of keep that. Shoulders are good. Skirt width might be, I can't tell. You know what? Let's take a look. That's not an insignificant number there, so I think that we're going to leave that in there. If it was something like, see that right there tells me that there's almost nothing going on with that morph, so that's easy enough to lose. But this, something's going on, so I think I'm going to keep it. Am I in the Genesis 8? I'm in the Genesis 8, which means I don't need these Genesis 9 morphs here. Keeping that. See that one there, ankles, it's all the way at the bottom. You can see how small that is. Tells me that's basically not doing anything. Loosen buttocks, midriff neck. Above the knee is good. Below the knee is like 2, so I could probably lose that. You know, skirt mini has got something going on there. Sleeve shorts got something going on there. Those are good. All right. And then these are all Genesis 9 morphs, so those get to go away. We're going to keep those controls because those are Genesis 8. Those are Genesis 8 as well. Those are good. These are Genesis 9s. I can probably just run down these until we get to this no belt morph. Those two are Genesis 9 morphs. All the breast morphs stay. That goes. I'll keep the JCMs, and then these are more Genesis 9 characters. And then we just have the Genesis 9 top to clean up. All right, chest stays, neck stays, shoulder depth is good, skirt back, skirt front, skirt left, skirt right, torsos are fine. These are all Genesis 9 stuff, so we're going to keep all of that. Expand sleeves is probably good. Most of these are probably staying. Flare skirt. Don't I have... There's the loosens. Loosen ankles, we don't need that. And once again, we can see in here skirt above knee and skirt below knee are so small. Loosen neck really is not doing much. Loosen elbows. We shouldn't have an elbow. Get rid of that. And I think the rest of this is fine. So that should be good. I should have loaded these in after. Let me do that. Let me delete these and reload. Now that we've deleted all the morphs. And we'll just double check and make sure my morphs are actually doing stuff. And that I don't have to redo one of these. So select the belt, come over here. Come over here. Go to actor. Dial that. Oh no, it's not moving. That's what I was afraid it would do. Does this even work? That shouldn't even do it. You know what? I don't need a no belt more for the belt. I should get rid of those. Let's just good, 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 good. Are any of my stuff working? Nope. Do I have to relaunch you? It's so finicky. All right, we're slowly waiting for this to close. Okay, let's see. Where am I? I'm trying to launch too fast. It's not working. There we go. Let me see if any of these are working. I'm not seeing anything moving. Oh no, why are my morphs not working? What is the rhyme or reason for that? Oh no, wait a minute. I saw something move. All right, they seem to be. And my beautiful no belt. You know what? I actually don't need the no belt morph in the other figures now that I think about it. So here in the skirt, that doesn't need the no belt. The no belt morph is just for the top. Actually, I'm going to leave that in there. I'm going to delete those out later. Um, I want to leave it in there because it kind of gives me a placeholder for my specials. So my special morphs can just go right there. So later on when we make special morphs. All right, so you seem to be working okay now. I saw something move. I don't think this snow belt will do anything. See, that doesn't do anything, so I'm going to get rid of that later. Front upper. You know what? I should delete the front upper. Because I got rid of the back upper. Adjust the tummy. See, that does something. Thigh. Back. So let's go to short skirt. Well, let's go to the skirts, and if I have any front uppers left, we'll get rid of those. Remind me not to save. Skirt long base. I think I got it there. What are you? Adjust front upper. Yeah, I don't see it. Why don't I not? Do I not have a? Oh, because it's the G9. That's got slightly different named morphs. Because consistency is for losers. Oh, um, so I think we load this in, and the front upper should be gone now. There it is. Just front upper's gone. All right, I think that's good. So these weren't dialing in before, and I don't know why, but now they seem to be okay. Which is the way this tends to work. How you how you doing, little buddy? You're fine. All right, we're gonna move on to focusing on getting the belt textures done. I got a little bit of a start on the belt, and we're gonna do this in Photoshop. Okay, so what I have done so far is we grabbed this picture out of a old German book on Roman and Greek designs, and I just converted this into a quick and dirty displacement map. What we're doing today is we're going to make this neater. So what I've started is I've got a couple of shapes that I got started with here and here. So this is going to build my displacement map. We're going to add some squares. I'm going to find a little thing to put in here and here. And I might set some of this up over in PowerPoint and bring it in. So I think we'll do that. Let's hide those two. Some of this stuff is just faster for me. Drawing squares is a lot faster for me just to do in Photoshop. Squares and circles. I think I'm going to try to find some little flower patterns. And we'll try to use that as a display, or I'll just draw something. I could just draw that in Photoshop or PowerPoint. Anyhow, let's launch PowerPoint. Oh, hey, I got PowerPoint open already. That's because we were doing the promos for the Night Vale. Let's say new. And we'll just do a blank presentation, and we'll just start by deleting everything. And I'll paste in that picture I just copied from Photoshop. And let's arrange these so I can still see chat just in case somebody actually says something. Okay, I'm going to go look in my resources and see if I have any nice black and white patterns that look kind of like this or these. So we'll go dig through the old Denver or Dover archive I purchased that came on CD-ROMs and then I saved somewhere. I can never remember where I save it, but thank God I have this thing. Everything. So this handy dandy utility indexes everything across all my drives and makes it really easy to find stuff. There it is. Once upon a time, it was on my F drive, and I just copied it over to my H drive. But anyhow, there's a thing called Dover, and we're looking for like floral designs. We're going to see what those look like. I'm looking for two color designs, basically, kind of like something like that. But I want them to look kind of like round flower and the other shape, the leaf shape. So we're just going to run through here and see if we can find something that I can, maybe that. See if I can get lucky and find something that we can just grab and use so I don't actually have to make my own. Because I'm that lazy. Efficient. It's efficient. It's not lazy, it's efficient. Why reinvent the wheel when you've already paid for the resource? I should put weed on that. Sorry. Put a pot leaf on the middle of that. Dude. Oh. Your Greeks are stoned, dude. Um Something like that. I can maybe use that. I'm going to open that in Photoshop. And I don't need these little leaves, but I might keep this part here and use that in something. Um, Open with Photoshop. We'll just do that. See if I can find better ones. We're getting those would make nice tats for the girls. Yeah, that'd be easy to do. I think you could still find these Dover resource books. Which one was this? Floral Designs. And they came with CD-ROMs. I don't know if you can get them online electronically. I probably bought them at Barnes and Noble back when people read books. Rod and Charles probably remember that. The rest of you have no idea what I'm talking about when I say books. Yeah, my grandpappy used to tell me about these things called books. You can probably order them off of Amazon too. Uh, Oh, so close. Maybe Victorian. I don't want to spend too much time. You spend too much time doing this, it kills the time saving factor. I think I've got my original too somewhere. Probably on the bookshelf right over there. Or they're in a box. Mark Chris's books stuck in the mudroom somewhere. What are you? Are you the same thing but different? No, these are definitely not going to be. I probably should just clean up one of the ones that are there and use it. Is what I'm starting to think. I don't think I'm going to find the right. So here, let's try. We'll try that. What I'm going to do is we'll just reuse. We're just going to kind of copy this thing here, um, rework it a little bit, or maybe I can just redraw it in Illustrator. Maybe that'll be the easiest thing to do. We'll draw it at half and then flip it over. And then what I'm going to cheat is then we'll just squish it, put a flower on it right there, and make it for the other part. So, I don't know, copy you, get Illustrator launched. Clean up, no, I mean clean up this. Maybe I'll just do it in Photoshop. Let's try Photoshop. Oops, I went past Photoshop. There we go. Let's zoom in. And let me just, you know, we'll just paint it white. Oops. I hit the wrong button. Trying to do that. Maybe redoing it in Illustrator might be a better idea. This is looking kind of janky. Yeah, I'm going to just do this in Illustrator. Did I launch Illustrator? I have not launched Illustrator yet. There's Illustrator. Now watch me find it in here. Those are kind of cool. They're nice and simple patterns. It would be easy enough to turn into a displacement map. And then the other place I would look over here is Victorian Designs. All right, our Illustrator is launched. You got so much stuff stashed on DVDs and hard drives. It's sick. Yeah, I know that feeling. New file. I'm just going to say this one right here, a web 10 by 10. I feel like I'm clicking on things and nothing's happening. Oh no, folder's empty. Because I moved them all over here, didn't I? The Victorian might have. See, I could use that. I'm going to open that in Photoshop just to kind of keep track of it. Open with Photoshop. You know, that's kind of like those shapes. Open with Photoshop, and maybe I'll steal that instead. Open with. That's for archiving. You never know when you're going to need it. Although I've reached that point in my life where I'm thinking, I really am not going to need that VGA cable anymore. I can probably lose all this coax cable. Are those RCA connectors? I probably should go through the basement at the old electronics and figure out if there's any of that stuff I could possibly revive or if I should just get rid of it all. My Amiga computer, my Amiga 500 is down there. That's got to be a 40-year-old computer now. I don't even know if I can get it to start anymore. It's been in a damp basement for too long. I don't think any of the floppy disks are any good. I don't take care of stuff. That's part of my problem. You know what? There's the little doohickey things. I see those. I see you. Open with Photoshop. We're going to open you up there. You know what? I think instead of drawing it in Illustrator, I'm going to steal. You know what? I'm going to maybe use that instead of the things in the hidden corners of the basement. Yes. I'm going to open that with Photoshop, and I'm going to make my decision here at some point. We're about 2/3 of the way through the Victorian doohickeys, and I'm actually pulling some nice, useful stuff out of here. So I may not end up using Illustrator. Oh no, anything but use Illustrator. Why draw it yourself when you can take it from clip art? Unless it's a circle. When I'm working with PowerPoint, though, there's a lot of stuff that is just so much faster for me to uh, just draw than it is to go figure out where I saved a copy. What the fuck is this? Repeated 300. Exactly. All right, I think I'm going to steal. Let's take a look. You know what? I think I'm going to take this part here and use it here and here. And then we have this little part here. I'm going to use that as this little plural here. There's one over here. So there's one here, 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 and here. And then we'll put one in here. So let's see how this goes. So let's start with, and I had a little thing. I don't want to use that. And then maybe put the plural in here. You know what? I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to clean this up. We're going to come over here. I'm going to clean. Here, let's do this. I need a couple of lines so I can figure out what I'm doing. Like so. Take that. So I want that. We'll just crop that image. Crop. And then I got to clean you up just a little bit because there's a little bit of extra. We'll just paint that out. Paint this out. And what I think I want to do is make that into a mask. Where's my channels? I'll put you over here. Oh, you're gray. You know what? That becomes a mask. I'm going to come over here, make a new layer. Fill that in with white. Pop back over to here. Paste that in. I should actually make that bigger and then clean it up. So we'll get rid of that. We'll pop back over here real quick and we'll make this larger and clean the edges up. So I'm going to get rid of Get rid of you. No, not duplicate, delete. Delete. Yes. Image size. I don't know, let's say 500. And we'll just sharpen that up a little bit. I'm going to do it like this so I don't accidentally. And then file new layer. Hey, Murga, how are you doing? And then fill that. And then we'll paste this over here. I'm making a displacement map. All right, and then we'll just drag you over to the side for a second. We'll come back to you later. Then I'm going to just keep... Actually, do I want to use this? Or do I want to use this? I think I'm going to use this. And I'm going to put the flower in here. So let's crop that down. Let me see if the America command still works. Doing fine. Maybe a bit of a fucked up sleep schedule, but who cares? Oh, I'm sorry, dude. That's true if you're checking me out at this time of night. Oh, man. Did I crop? Did I select? I did. Crop. Image crop is good. Let's clean this up. I love the way when I crop it shifts over in that way that's totally not useful for me. Okay, that's good. I'm going to make this larger and then we're going to adjust the levels a little bit on it. Image size. We'll do the same we did with the other one. We'll make it 500. And then I can just sharpen it up. Like that. Control I. We'll use that as a mask. New layer. That says new channel. I'm in the wrong thing. New layer. Okay. Fill. And we'll bring that over into here. I'm going to use that for this. Still using Adobe products. Adobe stole my soul. All right, I'm going to make a copy of this and we're going to stick it inside here. Then I'm going to rotate this and I'm going to use it here. I'm also going to place it here and here. Then we'll take the flower thing and we'll put copies of that here, 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 and here. I'll try to... And then I think I'm just going to put a circle shape here, here, and we'll put little borders here. That stuff might actually be faster to do in PowerPoint. So we'll just whip PowerPoint out here. So that's going to be like that. I'm going to color things shades of gray here in a second. I need circles. So I need one. I'm going to make these smaller in a second. But right now, I just need two like that. Line those up together. Group them. We're just going to put these kind of on the corners. And I think, yeah, we get some in here. And I'm going to put some down in here. when I get this over into Photoshop, we'll just copy it and paste it to the other side. Also, you know what? I might as well set these two big background circles up. Um, Took me a bit, but Inkscape for everything vector base is really good. Add that Infinity Designer photo free charge. Adobe free. Yeah, I'm not ready to give up. I mean, I gotta use Substance. I can't for what I do. Substance just really does pay for itself, and then some. Is that how I want this? You know what? I think I'm gonna. I think I will take this. And we'll just put it over. I'm gonna group you for a second so that I can do this. Actually, I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna group you over here. We're gonna look at that where it says 1.86, so that I can do it like this. 1.91. I went too far. 1.84. That's probably going to be close enough, so I'm going to line those up like that. Substance and Fusion are the last two apps for any from switching to Unix. Damn them. Let's ungroup these. I want a couple of copies of. I do want you to go over like that, don't you? And then you're going to get clipped by this one. So you know what? I think I'm going to make you smaller. Try to get you like that. Can't see what I'm doing. I think that's good. That's probably going to be fine. We'll do that. Okay, these, I'm going to merge those. Do I have my, where's my tools? Shape format, where's the, I'm in shape format, where's the merge? When things aren't where they're supposed to be. Oh, there it is. Now I can see it. You know what? It looked like it had that highlighted, and yet this wasn't here. Damn you. Now it's just messing with me. And I want this one on top like that. I want that like that. And I have, then I'm going to take this, put those there. So let's start assigning colors. And then I have these two patterns overlinking on top. I'm building out a displacement map for a belt buckle. That's what we're doing right now. So, you know what? Let's make you a mid-gray. Let's make you a dark gray. And those will be dark gray as well. That's my back. That's going to be a little bit lighter than... You know what? No, I'm just going to make this the same as the mid-gray. Okay, these circles, we'll do these two at a time. We're going to turn the whole thing into, we're lightening it up. And then I'll just ungroup all of those. And then I just want the centers, and we're going to turn all of that white. we'll add some contour and stuff in Photoshop in a short bit here. All right, let's lose the outlines. So that kind of gives me that thing going on there. I'm going to put a big box behind it in black. And then I think this part's ready to go over into Photoshop. We'll see how that works. You know what? I'm going to make you small. I'm going to group you and make you a little smaller. And we'll just make sure you're centered. And then we'll take this. And you know what? I can make you, you're good. You're good. That's going to be black with no outline. Put it in the back. Copy and paste the. I'm going to make it big because then it exports at a larger resolution. Oh, and I'm going to tweak. These need to come up. These ones need to sit on top of that. And those are fine. And I'll put this into a new. And I just want everything but the background. All right, I'm going to tweak these to fit a little bit better in there. What I really need is I need to see my template so I can make sure that this falls in there. Kind of like that. I probably should put a little extension back in here. Same thing with over here. And then these, I know I have to trim some of this stuff off. But these two, I just want to get that inside. Needs to be a little smaller still. I think that'll probably be good. Let's pop over into here and do some selecting. So I can clean up the those two interlocking shapes. All right, let's play with getting these in here. I can't see, I'm going to put you there so I can kind of see what I'm doing. Make a copy of, which one are you? There you are. What is the duplicate in this program? Duplicate layer doesn't have a shortcut key. That would be too easy. So we're going to put you, dang it. It's been at least 10 years since I stopped doing it, and I still hold the shift key down. I had the wrong, which, what did I just copy? Dang it. I made copies of the one I didn't want. I wanted this one. Actually, before I duplicate you, might be easier just to move. Maybe we just move one, hey? Okay, so far so good. Okay, now we'll come back to here. I think I'll just take this and line it up in there. And then what, merge those two layers together? Yeah, I think I'll do... Actually, I don't want to merge these together. I want to use them separately because I want to be able to distort this separate from that. Or else I should just maybe put these little flower shapes. You know what? So I'm going to have a flower shape there. And then I'll have one here and here. And then I'll arrange these as I need them. And I want this to be a little bit smaller. And then I'm going to start shading and stuff like that. Try to put them on different layers from each other. And I keep... There we go. And let's line you up. Probably good. I like that. I'm going to go ahead and do that. Probably good. 2:30 sounds like a good time to sleep. It does. Are you actually going to do that? Thanks for being here, Emerg. It was good to see you, man. I'm clicking on the wrong thing. You are way down here. Let's move you up here. And I'll call you Flourish or something. Oh no, what are you doing over there? Which flower are you? Flower copy 6. There you are. You got lost. You, because you's a bad boy. And then I lost this again. All right, duplicate. Bring you down into here. What are you doing over there again? All right. I need to hide you so I can see this. I think that'll be good. Get you kind of lined up in here. All right, we're starting to get there. I got some weird bugaboos here. I don't need you anymore. And actually, what I want to do real quick is just put a little square back here that's about this color. So we're going to put you in maybe down about here. We'll do a new layer real quick. Where's my eyedropper? Am I going blind? There it is. And I want to copy that over here. Something similar, just so I have something that goes past the edge of the Okay, so now comes the tricky part of making this all look pretty. I think I'm just going to add an extra line down in here. I could just do that here, so maybe a little darker, and I'm just going to run a line straight through. Actually, where is... Right there. I need a layer right there. And I actually want to make sure it's darker than this. That's all. Back to the paint tool. I'm going to do that. I'm going to blur that just a, maybe a little smaller. I can't see my... That's probably good. Okay, and we're just going to start using shade. I'm going to start building layers. We'll use a little bit of like glow edge to help give it a little contour. I think I'm going to move these two, and I should organize them together if I can figure out which is which. There it is. Of course, it's the last one. I think I'm going to go ahead and actually, before I'm going to merge these, but I want to tweak this shape just a little bit more. Now I'm going to merge these. And let's see if we can tweak that with a layer style. Is there a contour that we can put on here? I don't think that's what I wanted to do. I want to do something like that. But not necessarily like a pillow emboss or something is what I'm thinking. Satin. Where is the pillow emboss? Is emboss in here? Is that a bevel and emboss? There it is, bevel and emboss. Um, pillow emboss, emboss. I'm thinking pillow emboss, actually. Maybe not. Maybe just an emboss. See, that's not doing anything. Maybe I can just kind of do that and then maybe multiply. So duplicate this. Oh no. And how are we applying? Um, you know what? I'm just going to set that to multiply. It's going to do strange things. And I'm going to set this to multiply. I think that's doing what I want it to do, actually. Then we're going to put maybe little edge glows on these. I got to start coloring things in, too, with different various shades of gray. So I'm probably going to darken these up to be maybe that gray there. I know I'm running out of time. Put a little bit of a... Hey, Chris, I'm heading to bed. I'll catch you later. Hey, thanks for being here, Charles. We will catch you later, buddy. I hope you're feeling better tomorrow. At the very least, take the day off from work. Uh, there we go. Oh, yeah. Okay, inner glow. I don't need it to be that big. I don't want it to be that small. I think I'm going to go with that. I think I'm going to fill this in with that shade of gray there. So let's cancel that. Let's select this and fill some. You know what? I'm going to make that. These I'm going to leave white. These I'm going to make this shade of gray here. So let's do that. Doink. F5. That. And you did not fill in. Did you? You don't look like you did. Control D. And you know what? I've got this. That's better. Then if I put that, does it blend through? It doesn't. You know, I'll set you to multiply. There we go. That does what I want it to do. These I'm going to leave white, but we're going to set to... I'm going to group these if I can find them. All right, there they are. Let's just merge those layers together. And let's just put a little bit of a little inner glow action on those. Make it a little smaller. Lighten that color up. Probably okay with that. I'm going to make the big ringy things. We'll make those that color there. I can't do them like that. I have to do it one at a time. I think a little lighter. Yeah, and then I'll do this one. Okay, let's get these. I'm just gonna, those are gonna be this color here. And I'm gonna go ahead and merge these all together. If I can figure out what's what. I think I can't see that one. Yeah, there's that one. So those two, we'll just merge those together. I think I've got the right two. Like that. And I think these two get merged together. Looking good. I'm just going to fill these in with that color. So we're locking the transparency. And I forget, are you? Yeah, you're over there. All right, I like that. We're getting there. I'm just going to add a little bit more shape to this stuff here. So we'll do it like this. Where are you? You are over here. No, you're not. You're all the way down here. So I'm now going to set that to be, take that, uncheck contiguous. So I can grab these all in little groups like that. Oops, dang it. Where did my layers go? I lost my layers. No. I think I accidentally closed it, didn't I? There, it's back. I was trying to do new layer and I accidentally clicked the closed layer. Okay. Let's fill that with this. And we'll do a little bit of glow action on that. Back over here, we'll grab these ones next. And we'll make a layer for that on top of this. Fill those in with, I got to get my color first. With that color there. And then a little bit of inner glow action on those. I think I'm going to make that maybe a little darker. Punch it up a little more. And maybe those ones will get a little... I'm not seeing you. Are you hidden behind something? Did I fill you in? I may have forgotten to fill it in. It's probably what happened. That would explain why I don't see anything. There it is. You know, it looks better when you fill it in. just just a little suggestion. Um, then we're going to grab these and do the one more layer. And I'm going to see how this looks when we actually put it on. Also, I'm going to set up my opacity map for this as well. Where am I? I'm over here. I'm making a new layer. I'm going to fill that in with, you know what, that's just going to be white. And then we can just add the little glow. Then I'm going to tweak that so it looks a little more domed. And I'm going to back that off. All right, we're almost, dang it. I accidentally undid shit. Okay, a little bit. Am I heading in the right direction here? I'm not seeing that. Did I not fill you? All right, that's going to be my displacement map. And then I can quickly make an opacity map out of that. Control A, Control Shift C. We're just going to run up here. Control, actually new layer, no, Control V. Excellent. We'll just grab all the black. Actually, let's tighten you up. Let's actually not do contiguous. And set my tolerance to 1. And then fill this in with white. That's going to be an opacity map. So we'll save this out as an opacity map. File, export as. So I'm going to overwrite the opacity map we're currently using. With that, I'm going to hide that, and we'll save that out as a displacement map. I'll overwrite the existing displacement map, which is just a picture I stole from a book. And now let's go see how this is looking when we set up our thing in Daz. Where's my thing in Daz? There it is. So I really haven't gotten to the belt. I spent most of the time cleaning up objects, and yeah, it's fine. It'll be fine. Projects, Greek, parent, and runtime. These are actually down here in the texture folders now. Parent and buckle. The buckle is mapped different from the rest of the dress. It gets its own special UVs. All right, let's put that over off to the side so I can see what I'm doing over here. Actually, let's put you right there. Where's the edge of that? There it is. Get you like that. View extra large thumbnails. Give myself a little more room. Surfaces. Belt buckle. Excellent. We'll just drop good old generic shader in there. Okay, that'll be the base color. Metallicity. Displacement goes there. Set that to 6 so it has a higher resolution. Opacity map goes there. I'll use the height. We'll put that in there. I'll give it a little bit of texture on top of the displacement. Now, what am I missing? I'm missing roughness. Let's see how this is looking. Shiny. I'm going to make that thicker than I normally would. Also, somebody has got Somebody's got depth of field on. Looks a little, looks kind of cool, but I don't really need it for what I'm doing right now. I have to remember to save my default settings without that turned on. I keep forgetting to do that ever since I accidentally got it turned on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this thicker than I would normally. I don't know, maybe, let's say 0.4. That's like 4 millimeters in thickness on this belt buckle. If we do that, it should pop a bit more. This should be actually more than twice of what we were just looking at. I like that. I think that'll work. That's nice and clean. My pattern's flipped. So apparently this thing was upside down the whole time. I'm not going to worry about it. All right, I got 6 minutes. I don't know. Maybe we can start setting up the belt. I'm going to do the belt as kind of a chain thing, I think, is what I'm thinking. So I'm going to stop this because I don't need iRay eating up memory in the background right now. We'll see if we can kind of get a start on the. I have a couple ideas. I think I'm going to go with the chain first. So it's basically going to be kind of a metal chain belt and then this buckle. I'm certainly not doing another buckle. That took enough time. That took what? An hour and 15 minutes to just make one displacement map buckle. I'm happy with how it looks. I think it looks really cool. So that that's a bonus. I'm wondering if didn't I start Substance? Maybe not. There it is, Substance Painter. I am kind of thinking. Normally, I just do my displacement level at like 6, and that tends to work. But if I raise you up to say 8, does that give me any sort of appreciable sharpness? You know what? It actually does kind of look a little sharper, doesn't it? I should probably render out. You know what I might do is I might use this, and then I might use this as an example of the various levels of displacement. Because if you just do say 1, right, this should look very not very sharp, and there shouldn't be really a lot of blah blah blah. So that doesn't. So you know what? I think I'm going to use this as an example for, and this goes all the way to 12. And maybe give me an idea of how to optimize this. That looks really sharp. And then again, it eats up more memory. I think I want to say it does because it should, right? Anywho, we're going to stop that. Some days I just want you to launch, okay? Parent outfit. We'll do that. I'm going to run a little over again. I did this Tuesday. I think I'll do it again today. Just enough. I want to get a chain belt in here. And what we want to do is we want to take a look at our. I picked up some assets from ArtStation for this kind of thing. I've been using this for ornaments and trim designs. There's where am I? Adobe Substance Painter. There we go. Purchased assets. That's where I keep my purchased assets. 20 chains, 4K textures. We'll look at the alphas and then I'll decide which one of these I want to use. Maybe that. That's nice and chunky. Or that. I want something that's going to have a lot of body to it. possibly that, maybe that, or that. That's a little too sparse. That, not going to do the trick. I think that's a little thick. I think maybe we'll try this one. What are you? You are 16. Um, I want to tweak these with, I wish these were done in smaller squares instead of just repeating it over and over again. So that it just had more of a square pattern set up. Open with Photoshop. I'm going to trim this down in Photoshop. Why aren't you snapping? You're supposed to snap in there somewhere. 2048. There. Oh, there's the middle. That's the middle? I guess it is. All right. I can live with that. That's the middle? Oh, come on, dude. Image size. 4096 by 4096, so 2048. That's just kind of sloppy, isn't it? Let's get the other ones in here. I'm going to use we'll adjust their normal map. Oops. I got to switch to RGB here. Image mode, RGB. Okay, let's put that in here. Let's get the opacity map in here. Actually, I don't need the ambient occlusion. I don't know why I got that. That was just a... I kind of just did that without thinking, didn't I? Can I just rasterize you all at once? Yay. Let's make that a floating layer. Let's adjust these so that this sets on the center line a little better. I think somewhere in there. Let me zoom in. Right about there. So if I put a line there, that's not going to make a good square. So I think I'll put a line here and then I can get a good square out of that. So I'm going to kind of try to eyeball that to the center. It's offset just a little bit. So then I'm just trying to match that kind of over here. Then I'll just put a... There you go. That'll give me that nice square. And then I can kind of turn that into a pattern I can use. I can build a brush out of these three. So we'll just crop all of that. And of course you went all the way over there because why not? Then I'm just going to resave these back out. File, save as a copy. You are the height map. So I'm going to say height V2 or O2. We'll do O2. Okay, your opacity. Opacity O2. Okay, here's the normal map. And I don't need the ambient occlusion. I'm not going to save that. Okay, these are what I need for substance, I think. And I have my belt over here. So what we're going to try to do is I'm going to try to pen it. Make a custom pen tool that'll run across there. And we'll do that with a paint layer like that. And we'll do file, import resources. I think I'll probably, actually, what am I calling the other ones? These, trying to stay organized. There. Chain. I'm going to call this chain 16. There we go. And I did say the AO from the other one. Height, opacity. And then I'll bring the normal. You know what? I don't actually really need the normal because I can just generate that from the height. I'll slack that way. I know, organized. What the hell? What was I thinking? Import resources. Add resources. Um, Documents, Adobe, Substance Painter, purchased asset, chains, 4K textures, 16. And I'm only going to take these two. I know I did a normal map, but I could use that, but I can, that was probably just auto-generated from this. I should have selected both of these at the same time. I keep forgetting to do this so that I can change them all at once. All right, we're going to import those. Yay. All right, let's go get a pen tool. Boop. Let's do a basic. Let's try a basic ribbon gradient and see if I can remember how to set this up. I think I can use that for the alpha, right? Except I can't see anything. Hey, Willie, thanks for being here, man. All right, we will catch you later. Oh, why are you not? Where's my paint layer? Oh, you're all the way down there. No wonder I can't see nothing. There you go. That's better. I just need to tweak and orient this. I'm gonna use a filter to make a normal. I think I'm just gonna tweak. Probably drag this gold into the roughness in the metallicity. Height. I can use this. Right. Okay, so now we're just going to get this to orient and scale a little better. I'm going to tweak that projected depth. You know, it doesn't make any difference. There's nothing behind it. Um, there we go, size. So I want that to be about that big. Is that the way it's supposed to look? Yeah. And then I need an opacity on this. And you are my opacity. Excellent. I need to add a backing opacity to this as well to make sure that it's kind of black on the belt. So I'm just going to fill in a black layer here. Turn that to that, do this. Take that opacity down like that. Put that right behind there so now I can see this. And then I'm going to put a mask color selector on there so I can just apply it to just the belt. Of course, I think it's got a little, I got goop on the edges. So I'm going to add a paint layer in here and touch that mask up. Add paint. What color is my paint? My paint is it supposed to be white? Yeah. And I want to do this on the UV. It just works out better that way. Where is my stupid? I'm going to redo that. All right, is good. So let's finish drawing this in. I didn't want another path. I wanted to continue with this one. I can never remember how to navigate anything anymore. It takes me like a couple of tries. Is this the right button? How about you? What about you, dude? Do you rotate or do you do something else? Because why would anything be the same in any two programs? Because somebody would get bent out of shape and sue the other guy. That's why. I'm going to turn the wireframe on so I can kind of see what I'm doing. Ideally, there should be like a center line in here that I want to line it to. I don't need you. That looks better. I'm getting there. That looks fine. You should probably be... All right, let's see how that goes. Okay, I'm going to put the... we'll just come over here and look for that gold. Oh, you know what? I'm just going to... Yeah, I want that gold leafy gold. So for the base color, I'm just going to make it... Where am I? Here, let's do this. Material. Do that. Roughness, you know what? Can I just steal the roughness from that? Steal the metallicity from that. No, that was good. I think we're good. How's my opacity map looking? I think I'm good. I think I'm good. I think I'm good. Yo, Tesno Pesno, how are you doing? I'm running a little late. I'm about to call it a night, though. I'm going to turn off that wireframe because that's now in the way. You been better? I'm sorry, dude. Uh, do white. Where's the shoe? Is the shoe done? You know, that's a white shoe. I'm going to go with that. All right, I'm going to save this out and then we're going to touch it up. And why aren't you still gold? Because we're going to do that, which means I want to come over here and duplicate that. And I want to make this silver. Chain, belt, silver. Came home a couple days ago and got the flu. Oh, dude. Or you in was you were in Spain, right? Yeah, serves you right for going home. Not what you wanted to hear. All right, I'm going to tweak this to be a silvery color. That's pretty much what passes for silver around here. All right, let's save this and see how my belt's coming out. Control Shift E. Let's do the 6-channel UDIMs, export. We'll pop, we're gonna stick that stuff over, where is my, over here. All right, open the output directory. You're gonna be white. I'm looking for something that says 0102 base color. You are silver. Okay, you get to go over there. Okay, you. I think I just. No, I need all of these. Height, metallic, normal, opacity, base color, and roughness. That all goes over to the dress folder. Okay, and then we'll pop over here and see how things are looking. Okay, we're going to make that silver, so I'm going to update that with a silver buckle texture, which I think is over there, but I can't see it because my Explorer is falling off the page. Silver, so I'm going to take you and drag you into here. So that's going to become kind of a silver. There's a weird pink in here. I'm going to tweak that. Belt. Belt attachment should be invisible. Belt, I'll just put a generic shader on here. And then we come over to here And I'm going to take this displacement map. I have to update the displacement map for this, don't I? Probably for the belt. Right there. That goes there. That gets turned to 6. That I'm going to make 0.25. Okay, we're going to update you with a height map. Actually, there's an opacity map. Goes there. Metallicity map could go here. Normal map goes there. Height map goes there. And color map into there. And a roughness map comes into here. And let's see how we're looking. Okay, and with that, we're going to call it a night because I've gone like 20 minutes past 9. We're getting there. That's kind of what it's supposed to look like. I'm fairly happy with that. I'm going to make a nice displacement map though that'll punch up the belt even better. That still needs to come. Right now it's just a height map and a normal map. It still looks okay, but we can make that look a little bit better. I'm happy with how the displacement map on the buckle's looking. Yay! It looks nice and sharp. Anyhow, hey Tesno, it's good to see you. And we had D Zeng in the house. Nice to be here. I think Willie already left. Rod Shelley, it's always a pleasure to see you, buddy. Hey, if you're on YouTube, like and subscribe. That would be awesome. If you're on Twitch, we're going to go see who's hanging out and raid one of our friends. Let's see who's on. Dum 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 dum. Says I have 2 viewers, but that's fine. We'll raid them. Maybe Rumikin's still on. I hear myself in the background. Uh-oh. Stop that. Stop that. Yo, Napsmore. Good to see you, buddy. Eventually, I'll make this do the shout out too. But in the meantime, I remember to do the I do the command old school. Who am I looking for? I'm seeing if Bad Tooth Records is on tonight. If not, you know what? We'll go hang out with my friend. Oh, DJ Ray's on. Let's go hang out with DJ Ray. We'll do that. Looks like he's playing Magic the Gathering tonight while he spins the tunes, and you can still go fishing. So we'll do that. Hey, buy my stuff at Daz. Hey, feel free to join the Discord. Next stream will be Saturday at 1 p.m. We'll still be probably working on this dress. Here, let me get the other parts in. Here's how we're looking so far. I got my belt. I got my sandals. We got a long skirt. We got a short skirt. And we got a top that goes with it. Loosely inspired by a Greek outfit. So this is how we're heading. Coming along. Slowly but surely. And with that, I appreciate everybody being here. I hope you'll have a good rest of a Thursday or Friday for those of you on the happy side of the planet. And let's do this. Let's start this raid and go over and say hi to our good friend DJ Ray. Partay. I have to do the copy and paste thing here. And if you can join the raid, feel free to copy one of these raid calls that I'm about to. Did you not just do anything? My raid call went away. I did use the raid call. Okay, never mind. And here's if you're not a subscriber and you can join the raid, feel free to use that raid call. If you are a subscriber, feel free to use this raid call. And with that, we're going to call it a night. So thank you all for being here. Hasta la vista, baby.